Cristal comenzó este partido sin sueños de este día, sin visiones de tanta gente y sin la esperanza de hallar tanta hermandad y unidad. Lo comenzamos muy humildemente como una táctica allá entre la nopalera, debajo de los mezquites, donde a uno nos tienen asustados los gringos y donde a otros ahora nos tienen un chingo de miedo.
The Chicano movement some years ago was considered an impossible dream. La Raza Unida was considered an impossible dream. And this is a historic day for everyone that's here.
Convention is going to be for state chairman. Will the state chairman from Arizona introduce yourself? Salomón R. Valdenegro. Salomón R. Valdenegro, state chairman, Arizona. California.
Elena Pinol.
Rodolfo Quiñones. The Credentials Committee, if you will please caucus. Direction of your national chairman for a few minutes and elect your chairman, so we can announce it to the floor. If you will meet in that room to the right. The Credentials Committee members, elect your chairman so that we can present you to the national body for any appeals, challenges, and whatever. A brief announcement: there is a press conference going on, I understand, by Colorado. If anyone wishes to join it, it's over here towards the left somewhere. I also had a report that Colorado is wearing the black armbands in mourning for Ricardo Falcón as a symbol.
I'm Francisco Martinez, and I'm an attorney on one of the teams that have been investigating this matter. At this time, we have conducted a preliminary examination. We do have several matters that we would like to relate to the public at this time. I believe everyone has focused upon this event at Oro Grande. As far as our investigation shows, it's a small town. It was, when the incident happened, the authorities failed to act or cooperate in any manner with our people. As the facts as we understand them is that there was a caravan of a couple cars from Colorado coming to the convention. The car in which Mr. Falcón was riding was overheating. Now when they arrived at the Chevron station, they drove in to cool the radiator off. The owner, Mr. Brunson, got very angry at this, and supposedly there were words between several of the occupants, or at least one of the occupants of the car, and Mr. Brunson. We do know that there was a struggle. We do know that there were 4 shots from a .38 Chief Special belonging to Mr. Brunson. 2 shots hit Mr. Falcón. There was an autopsy report that has not been released yet. We hope to get that.
I would like to say that since I've been here on Wednesday, and from what I've been able to see, I know in my heart and in my soul that my husband was murdered. The town of Oro Grande and Alamogordo helped Mr. Brunson in every way they could with the murder, because no attempt of any sort of help was given to my husband. Yesterday we went, as you heard, we went to Alamogordo and we talked to the district attorney. He implied that I should not ask him any questions about the incident because I did not know the law of the state of New Mexico. I did not have any right to question him about my husband. He was murdered in Alamogordo over water. And how do I explain this to my son?
And if we must die, let us die as Ricardo did. Let us die fighting in the barrios, in the jails, in the fields, in the streets, for our raza.
Señores y señoras, estimados carnales delegados, permítanme el gran placer, la honra de introducirles al señor Reyes López Tijerina.
Dicen que nomás una madre que pare un hijo sabe lo que duele y cómo se ama un hijo. Igualmente con un hombre, una persona que lucha y sacrifica tiempo, lágrimas, el amor, el corazón, el espíritu por desarrollar un programa, por ayudar a su raza, a su pueblo. Nomás esa persona sabe. Pero hermanos, tenemos un futuro muy grande y un papel muy grande en el suroeste. Y tenemos que desarrollarnos, perfeccionarnos para poder desempeñar este papel único.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that Reyes talks about a bit, and it was brought up también today, was the whole thing about the relationship of the Partido with America Latina.
We met with the President of Mexico, just from the point of view of Crystal City, one of the communities where we're already firmly entrenched. So that has been discussed, you know. There's been curiosity by a lot of people in the movement of Chicanos about Cuba. There's been some trips into other countries. I know people going to Chile and so on. And there's a lot of cultural exchanges taking place and educational conferences and this sort of thing. So we must come to grips with that. But you know, I think overall, I think we all agree that it's a priority because they're brothers, you know, there's Raza. But we must have our own nation here, you know. We've got to organize our own backyards before we would try to organize anybody else's backyards.
So how do you make, like say coalitions, you know? I think we all understand the need for coalitions.
Well, let me give you an example about a coalition that, you know, that occurred just here recently, about 2 weeks ago. Dr. Ralph Abernathy and the wife of Martin Luther King, they came down and they gave us the endorsement down here in the state of Texas. Now, when I spoke about it first, and when we talked about a black and a brown coalition, even on a statewide basis, our people didn't understand. They said, I mean, you know, they would say the blacks are getting everything. Well, they're not getting anything. They're not getting as much as what we are. But see, we're having to even go at that stage. I mean, we're even trying to tell them that we both have a common problem and that we're being oppressed. We're going through a whole re-educational process and to trying to even understand each other. I mean, we're at this stage. I believe that we're at the stage right now to where we're finding out, a lot of people are finding out, okay, I'm a Chicano and I'm a Mexicano. Now, what the hell do I do? Everywhere we go, a donde vamos, our people are awakening and their eyes are opening. And the most beautiful thing I see tonight is this youngsters right here holding the flag. This is Raza Unida. And now somebody tells me from the nation, do you think you're going to win? Les digo, I've already won. Look at this right here. We've already won. We can't lose. There's no way we can lose. There's no way. And I'm not saying that we're not going to disagree, because we are. Y vamos a alegar, vamos a hablar de muchas otras cosas que no todos mismos vamos a pensarla. But let's keep one thing in mind. Keep one thing in mind,
Don't let the Democratic Party and don't let the Republican Party know that we're fighting. If we gonna do any fighting, let's do it in the closet. Let's do it in the gym, somewhere where nobody can see us. And when we come out like this together.
Ramsey's been avoiding the issue for a while until now we couldn't avoid it anymore. They said, what are you going to do on November 7th? What about McGovern? Because obviously, we got to be for a Democrat. So Ramsey said, well, when McGovern endorses me, I might consider endorsing him. Now we know it's not going to happen. So our people have to learn by example, see? But otherwise, with intellectual papers and professors and analyzing and charts, it ain't going to cut it. But that little simple thing, and now we're asking, endorse a Mexican. How liberal are you, McGovern? How liberal are you, white liberal? Will you vote for a Mexican?
All of our white liberal friends, very close, they're going to support us, they're going to vote for us, but they don't want to tell anybody else. They will tell you, look, I really like you, I'm going to give you some money under the table, but don't tell anybody. I'm for Raza and all that, Mexican Americans and all kind of programs, for school programs, loans and all that. And we don't need letters, But then, after we came out with the statement, they would call us, what the hell are you trying to do? Are you trying to kill us? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to ruin us or what? Here's the only chance that you ever had. I said, well, this is the only chance that we have.
Now, as we go into the resolution strategies, now our state platform has to do with an independent party. Those resolutions or those motions made to not endorse any other candidate from another party is something that we committed ourselves to in Greeley at our state convention. Because we're here as a Raza Unida independent party.
We say that we want gun control. That means que estamos controlando a ellos.
Do you want to take a vote against the NRA and for gun control?
For the rollback of prices and taxes and the closure of tax loopholes for monopoly corporations. Okay. All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed?
The Texas delegation that is going on record as at that time it was withdrawal June 72, total withdrawal June 72. However, since the deadline is passed, I think that now implies immediate withdrawal. Is everybody in accord with that? Yes. The Texas delegation goes on record as supporting immediate withdrawal, total involvement in Vietnam.
Okay, land. Honor original Mexican and Spanish land grants. Cease taxation of the land.
I'm against that because all you're doing is giving it to a rich few, Spaniards.
We are wasting time if we think we're here to build a national party. If we have divided state delegations, if we do not have state parties, there is no national party. And the task is too large for any man, or any group of men, or any several groups of men and women. We must not, and we cannot afford the luxury of petty bickering and fights on minute rhetorical points in this convention. We must display not who is more of a Chicano, but just simply who doesn't need to debate what is a Chicano.
So that we don't have to just re-educate and talk about awareness among the barrio, but also among the universities. And I'm just among guys, don't you see that what I'm saying? We're talking about...
What about the old-time, politicos too, all the mapas and lulacs and everything? Isn't there an awful big strength of people there that potentially can be with the Raza Unida?
We've got 3 different groups of people coming to this convention, and there's three different groups of people out there, that we call our constituency. Those whose political awareness is at the level that they got to vote for somebody, okay, regardless. Those whose level is either because they're too aware or because they're not aware enough, who don't care to vote, And the third who wants to develop a new strategy, okay? I took the care, and I want to continue taking the care, that those 3 options are always open. To take care of the LULACs, to take care of the ones already in, to take care of the ones that he's talking about at the universities and at the libraries. I don't think we should limit ourselves to anything. And certainly we should not, immediately pull back our heads under the shell like turtles when there's a little bit of reaction from whites, or concerns about whites, or even some, rock throwing within our own people, Maybe our own people are kind of just testing to see what the hell you're all made about.
The position we have taken is not against El Partido. It is not against the farm workers. We affirm our support of El Partido.
We affirm our support of Cesar Chavez, the movement of the farm workers. We support it with all our minds, hearts, and souls. We were merely rejecting the procedures that were instituted, and that is all. Again, we affirm our support of El Partido. We affirm our support of Cesar Chavez and el Movimiento del Farm Workers.
People are kind of puzzled about, Raza Unida, the white liberals and the others. And I think, frankly, it has to do with the fact that they want us to come into the back door first, like the blacks did way back in the Reconstruction days. What they fail to see is that because of the racist institutions in this country, we have suffered in many ways more profoundly than the blacks have, because we never have had that back door, because they didn't buy us as slaves at the back door to the system. And all of a sudden we come around like Partido, and the politicos, they say, sit back, wait a minute, man. On top of that, our own people, in the movement are having difficulties, because, we're such a regional stage, that we've got to be very sensitive to consequences elsewhere. I'm sure that, Corky is held accountable for some of the things we say, and they're asked to justify some of the things we say, And this is why we got to understand that we're always being pitted and divided, So what we got to understand is maybe that's on purpose, There's no division here. Besides that, if there was, we got to have some healthy fights at once in a while.
Well, we've had discussions, and possibly maybe we disagreed on some things. This is our family. The familia can have their differences. We have to create a unified direction and philosophy. We've talked about Congreso's national party thing. And naturally, it has to be done. Somebody assumes and does it. All right, Texas did it. We recognize and we support it, and we came here, and that's our show of support. And we want to involve our ideas and our feelings and our thoughts. And I think it came about very good. And out of that came unity.
The motion reads that the entire body votes for the approval of all the resolutions as written. If you vote for this motion, all the resolutions will have passed by acclamation. Washington, D.C., 13, Eduardo Lerma. Louder, louder. Eduardo, come on. 13-4. Órale. Missouri, Alfredo Parra, 13. Alfredo, 13 yes. 13 for.
All 21 votes for this motion.
Kansas
votes 19 for and 4 against.
Colorado, Salvador Carpio. You have 39 votes. I am going to read what you have just passed. All right? This is in effect the national position of the Partido de Raza Unida on the first National Convention. In labor, number 1, to support the right to strike and to support the Farm Workers Union. Number 2, parity in employment opportunities and wages for Chicanos in the federal government, unions, etc. Enforcement of the Tratado of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Politics, complete political independence. Remember, it says complete political independence. Support none of the 2 major candidates for President of the United States.
There has been a problem that in some states they had to get themselves together on certain issues, and naturally that takes place in any family. Yeah. And we felt that we were able to go ahead with with more constructive thought because we'd already done it in Colorado and we had no divisionism at all.
We've been working for the last 2 years of building our state parties. And word came out, we're having a national convention. Everybody said, yeah, you know. And it's Labor Day holiday, they treated it as it was going to be a holiday. And pretty soon it was here. So everybody's latched on to it, you know, so quickly and with such imagination that everybody's not waiting on anyone. You know, we're just moving forward.
There are two candidates for the chairmanship of the Congreso, Rodolfo Corti González and José Ángel Gutiérrez.
Señor Presidente, la delegación de Texas votando 64 votos a favor de José Ángel Gutiérrez con un abstention.
Texas, 64 votes for José Ángel Gutiérrez, 1 abstention. California, you have 66 votes.
California cast 17.5 votes for José Ángel Gutiérrez, 48.5 votes for Rodolfo Corti González.
You have 39 votes.
Mr. Chairman, there is nothing I can add to what our leader of the Partido Colorado already mentioned. But in behalf of the Colorado delegation and the memory of Ricardo Falcón, Colorado cast 39 votes for Rodolfo Corti González.
Mr. Chairman, I cannot listen to you unless your delegation is sitting down. Your delegation has to sit down. Security will have to be applied in the spirit of unity. I would like to ask that both of these nominees come to the platform. Que cada candidato les hable a ustedes por 5 minutos. Por favor, 5 minutos. They have agreed. They want to present themselves to you.
First of all, I want to thank those people who have nominated me, those people who support them. And I want to say that rather than talk about personal things, I want to talk about the unity of the Mexicano, the unity of La Raza Unida Partido. Colorado came here to take part in unity. We feel that we did our job in presenting a philosophy of no compromise, of setting forth the idea that we are in an independent party, that we are not a negotiating or endorsing party. Whichever way the vote goes, we will be part of La Raza Unida.
For the last 3 hours or so, I have seen the delegates from California and Colorado at their best. I applaud your skill, I respect your discipline. I am proud to be in this room with you as an opponent. You have also, I hope, seen a capable organizer staying in the fight with you. Corky, as chairman of the Congreso, is not the issue. José Ángel Gutiérrez, as chairman of the Congreso, is not the issue either. The issue to you, delegates, that I'm sure I will abide by, and I'm sure that Corky will abide by, is that you must choose a chairman. Gracias. Will you give us a few moments?
por Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez. 1 abstention, 13 no vote. You have a chairman. Jose Angel Gutierrez is your new chairman.
The future of the Partido de la Raza Unida is a future for our people. And perhaps we are together learning yet another lesson. Nothing can withstand the force of an idea whose time has come.